To HarperCollins. Every story has an author, and as we know, every author has a story. But just imagine, what if I told you we were missing out on thousands of voices? Yes, thousands. That millions of stories will never be heard unless you act. But don't let me get ahead of myself. Let me actually introduce myself first. Since I was 12, I've had 3 dreams. Yes, 3. And those were 1. To be a dinosaur. 2. To become an author. And 3. To work with or for HarperCollins Publishing Company. Yes. First and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. We now know that I cannot be a dinosaur, no matter how much I dream. But the other 2 dreams still remain intact. Here's a little bit about me. I've loved reading since I was small. Reading was my escape into different worlds. I felt like the characters in the story were right next to me and mostly had happy endings. It was my go-to. But there was always a small disconnect with the story and I. They were written well, yes, but certain aspects I couldn't follow, because they were written by a more experienced point of view. Don't get me wrong, they are great stories, but give me a chance to explain my first slide. Since I was 16, I've pursued being an author. I submitted my story to multiple literary and publishing agents. Everyone turned me down simply because they found me too young and a big risk. I know, right? That being my experience, I decided to find a way to fix it. I think we all know about the drop in children and teens reading. But what if they had books for teens by teens? Breathe that in. Books for teens by teens. Okay, here's the proposition. I want to bring an apprenticeship program to HarperCollins, one that bridges the gap between experience and newness, to make the next generation of authors and editors and publishers. Since 1941, HarperCollins has been known as one of the big 5 of the publishing world. Do you know why? Because you haven't been afraid to take the next step, to do things that have never been done before. I'm just asking for that same courage you had back then, the courage that you use every time you take on a new author. To take on 1,000 new voices, to mold them, nurture them. I graduated from Full Sail University with a bachelor's in creative writing. I have portfolios to show my work. Taking classes like the psychology of play and learning about the point of view is the reason I am able to give this presentation. They inspired us to dream big but work hard, to complete not just enough, but to leave open jaws wherever we go. All I ask is for an opportunity to build this new bridge, to be the next movers and shakers, the next storytellers. The only question is, will you help me?